Hello, what are we doing today? We are setting up for a portrait session. You can see I've taken down all of the nice beigey and colorful stuff because this is a professional headshot full-length session, and it's for application to be a yacht stewardess or a flight attendant, and they have very, very specific requirements. So we're setting up for those very specific requirements, which will be probably very boring compared to what I like to do, but hey, is what is needed by the scope, so we're gonna do it. We're going for a fully lit kind of look. You'll see everything's gonna be white background, very bright. I moved around as much non-white stuff to reduce the color cast as I can. And then I'm gonna pop up the paper backdrop there. I'm just gonna change the floor a bit because I do not want the lines from the floor getting onto the paper. So, gonna go set up. Okay, lighting wise, what are we gonna do? I'm thinking I'm gonna put on the strip box. It'll cover everything full length to headshot. And let's see if we can flat light it fully, which is really boring, but we'll do that and then see if we need a bit of a fill, and then we'll see what kicker I'm gonna use just to separate from that very white background. So I saw this video the other day, which made a lot of sense. The proper way to put on a modifier is not to try and mount it on while it's on stand. It's to take it off the stand and attach it to the modifier and then pick it up. And honestly, I won't lie, the video was right. It works a lot better. Okay, so for the key light, let's start at close to daylight. So like 5600, it's down. Let's start at 5400, right? Oh, ideal. I hate these friggin' plugs! Right, dummy head's in place, so we can have a look at what the lighting's going to do. The client today is not the tallest person on the planet, so that should be about the highest it's going to need to go. Let's see, what are we going to shoot with today? Okay, so for the headshots, we are going to go with the trusted 56mm f1.2. This is the older one. It's not the latest version, but still, probably on the XT5. Going to mix up using the XT5 and using the XM5, which I'm recording on now. So yeah, obviously can't show you the camera. And then for the full length shots, we are probably going to use the f2 23mm. Right, or Fujifilm. I guess the point is me having to mention that at this point. Well, let's test the worst case scenario as far as lighting goes, the 23 f2, and see how it looks. Turns out that light could have been way brighter this whole time, but anyway, help me find my phone, someone. So here's something I realized, right? I don't need the grid for what I'm doing today. I want as much spill on the background as possible, so I'm going to take the grid off. You know, when I say flat lit and no shadows, I don't mean 0, 0, 0 shadows. There have to be some shadows. Otherwise, your face ends up with no shape, with no features. You can't really see anything. So yeah, I'm just putting the strip box off to the side a bit, and I'm going to just feather it onto her. Also make space for me to shoot. Yeah, let us continue. Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to fuck you in the middle of dinner. Okay, now my light's gone. What's this now? There, you can see me again, right? Much better. Yeah, so I took the light I was using for this camera and put it here as a fill light, just in case we need to eliminate more shadows off on this side that's being cast by the strip box being slightly off to the side. If there is one thing I can tell you to get, these little magic arm things. What? These things will save you so many times. This one's off Temu, but there's a lot fancier ones. But get one of these magic arm things. They are so, so useful. Okay, so as a kicker, just going to use the Zhiyun Molus 60x60 RGB. Just going to use the diffusion dome, nothing fancy. It's going to be very, very light in the background, create some separation, put some light on the hair, and that's it. The setup is so much easier than what I normally do. I actually, yeah, there's so much less thinking like creatively in it. No offense, but it is what it is. So yeah, kicker here, and it's pretty much the setup, and then we'll give it a test. Another thing, you can never go wrong having too many around: cable ties and masking tape. You know, the story with these things is you do not want it to unplug in the middle of working, obviously. So I take as many precautions as I can to make sure that I leave the connection going into the light very, very straight into it, so perpendicular to the surface. And if I were to pull on it, it wouldn't pull there. If I were to pull on it there, the brick is in place. So those little things make a heck of a difference sometimes. Now, we don't want the kicker spilling too much into the background. So let's just do that and bring it down to, or bring it up to 5600, 5400. So everything is nice and color balanced. This is only at 24%. So let's do the room test without all the lights and see what we're working with. Right. Off and off. 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 Okay. There we go. Right. So that's what the kicker is going to do. That's what the fill light's going to do. Ha. And I should have just got into the app earlier, but that's what the key light's going to do. So I think I've got plenty of light. And I mean, you're looking at this on an f3.5 lens. So when I'm shooting, I'm going to have a lot more light to play with. Shall we get testing and see? Okay, let's talk about a few settings and things, right? Let's get this light down here so you can see my face. Whee! All right, so XT5. Now, first thing I do is check all my standard settings. Now, what I like doing is I set that little button there to be the natural live view button. So I get to switch between my film simulation and what it's going to look like raw. And that gives me an idea of what the image might look like when I've edited. So what I did was I have set up a film simulation preset in Lightroom that's very similar to what I dial in as a straight out of camera JPEG. So I know that if I'm watching the JPEGs here while I'm shooting, and generally they look much better, and when you want to show your client the images as you're shooting because they're excited, the JPEGs look much nicer. Nobody wants to see raw images. So I generally will set a very standard recipe with Provia or Reala, but most often Provia because it does have a little bit more punch and that looks nicer before all of the editing is done on a raw file. So when you show it to your client, they like, yeah, okay, it looks half decent. But yeah, it's really nice to be able to toggle on and off very quickly by just pressing that button between raw and natural live view, right? That's one of the first things I do. Then let's see, what's next? Can you see the screen? Okay, I don't know. Well, next. No, it's out of focus. Oh, I don't feel like dealing with that. All right, next. We've set up this whole room to white balance to 5600. So I'll go to 5600 on here, set the white balance. Yes, I'm shooting in RAW, but you know what? It's fine. ISO wise, I'm going to shoot at 200. I don't like shooting at absolute low. I feel like just bumping up the dynamic range. I might even bump it up more than that while I'm shooting. So I have the dynamic range, which I don't really need in this case because everything's so bright. But I'll see. I'll probably shoot around 200. And if I have to denoise later, I'll denoise later. It's not the end of the world. I want flexibility with the shutter speed. You know what? For posed images like this, 1/60th will do fine with IBIS as well. But if she's moving around and stuff, I'll compensate by going 1/80, 1/100, because I can. I've got way more light than I actually need. And yeah, so that's it, I guess. So let's start at f2.8. Okay, let's just go all the way to f2, wide open, which I don't really suggest for portraits where you want to get from the nose right back past the face until it falls off behind the ear. But let's play with it and see what happens. And yeah, let's take a couple of test shots. Let me say this, it's not too bad. At f2, you're not going to see it on the screen, it's going to be too bright. But actually, I can probably turn the ISO down on this. Let me do that, turn it up. There you go. Oh, you're still not going to see it. Anyway, yeah, so it doesn't look too bad. It's very bright. And I will probably tone it down a bit. Like I said, I'm probably going to go to f2.8 and see how that goes. Yeah, f2.8 seems to be working much better. Maybe I'll put these demo images up later. But I mean, the point is, I've tested it. I'm happy. I think everything's working well. It is still throwing a little bit of a shadow here. And one of the requirements of Air Hostess submission images is they're very specific, is no shadows, which obviously is impossible because without any shadows, you get zero shape. But let's just, to be safe, I'm going to pick the fill light up a little bit. And yeah, so I'll do a few exactly to spec as they've asked, which is very specific. And then I'm going to do a few like a little bit more the way I would do a professional headshot. Yeah, that is more than enough. I can also just raise the shadows if I really have to in post. I don't like blowing out highlights. I'd rather have the room to play. So I'm quite happy with the way things are set up. And let's, yeah, just get ready now. Wait for her to arrive. We will do the shoot and I will hopefully post a video with the results when I'm done.